Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is January 8th of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears that CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage a Trump dissolution of presidency event on the date of January 9th of 2026. Specifically, so J.D. Vance can be sworn in as the 48th President of the United States and or trigger a second American Civil War. So firstly, in respect to the numerology, January 9th is the 9th day of the year, and the number 9 equates to letter I in the English alphabet, which is symbolically, it stands for I as in spy, agency, and intelligence, and that is why we have the letter I in FBI, CIA, MI5, MI6, in virtually every single intelligence agency. So the number 9 is synonymous with intelligence. So that means that the CIA is going to stage some sort of intelligence-related event targeting the Trump administration on the date of January 9th. Not only that, but the date of January 9th, 1-9, is the number 19, which equates to the letter S, which is not only symbolically a snake, which is indicative of poison, but it equates to the letter S in the English alphabet, the 19th letter, which is an acronym for Switzerland. And so because the CIA headquarters are located in Switzerland, and because that's where the intelligence apparatus of the world is headquartered, Switzerland is going to stage some sort of an event via their intelligence agencies targeting the Trump administration and the Trump presidency on the date of Friday, January 9th, 2026. It's 100% guaranteed. Not only that, but the date of January 9th marks 349 days since Donald J. Trump was sworn in as the 47th President of the United States back on January 25th of 2024. The number 349, this of course has the number 49, which symbolically is a cross with the letter I beneath it, which forms the Judeo-Christian cross. Also, DI is as in die, and so this suggests that Donald J. Trump will die on the date of January 9th of 2026. Coincidentally, the date of January 9th of 2026 marks exactly 545 days since the CIA staged the Butler assassination event targeting Donald J. Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, via sniper attack back on July 13th of 2024. Obviously, the 545, the double fives, that's SS, and then the number 4 equates to the cross, the Swiss cross, and so this is the Swiss cross flanked by the SS, which is ISIS is the official name or the esoteric name of CIA headquarters in Geneva. Lastly, and possibly most importantly, the date of January 9th marks exactly 29,064 days, 29064, since Donald J. Trump was born in Queens, New York, back on June 14th of 1946. This, of course, has the number 29064, so it's flanked by the number 24, which equates to the letter X, which is the international symbol of death, and then it has the number 96. This is a 9669 numerology, which is found in the nuclear attacks of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It's a blood sacrifice number. And then, of course, it has the number 26, which equates to the letter Z, which is an acronym for Zionism, which is, in fact, the political motivation for the Trump dissolution of presidency event slated for January 9th of 2026. As I revealed many years ago, Switzerland is the first Jewish state, and that Zionism was founded in Basel, Switzerland. You can look this up, it's a fact. And so we have the Zionist state of Switzerland, which is now hid itself in the Central Europe and is using the second, for all intents and purposes, the second Jewish state via Israel and her Mossad to do their dirty work around the world. So exactly how CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to sabotage, to submarine, to neutralize the Trump presidency on the date of January 9th of 2026 is obviously not known, but it's virtually certain, virtually 100% certain that Trump will suffer some sort of an arrest, an accident, an assassination event, a death event, a force majeure, a quote unquote, an act of God targeting the Trump White House, an impeachment, a forced resignation, a terror attack, or he will be unalived or suffer some sort of catastrophic medical related event which results in emergency surgery, coma, paralyzation, or some other tragic event is going to befall the president. That being said, the date of January 9th coincidentally marks exactly 6 days since the CIA executed Operation Absolute Resolve, which was the decapitation strike by the United States Armed Forces targeting Caracas, Venezuela on the morning of January 3rd of 2026, which resulted in the kidnapping of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores. Of course, the number 6, this is found on the symbolically, numerologically, it's found in the 6-pointed star of the flag of the Star of David, which is found on the flag of Israel, the second Jewish state. And that is because the 6 also equates to the double cross, which means that you're going to get stabbed in the back. And I believe that on January 9th of 2026, Donald J. Trump is going to be sacrificed in the aftermath of this attack in some form or fashion, because advisors close to Donald J. Trump were able to successfully convince the president that this was a good idea to decapitate the Venezuelan leadership. And despite the fact that Maduro has been replaced by his vice president, the very act of removing a head of state in this political climate, with the amount of enemies that are swarming around Trump in both the Republican Party, in the Democratic Party, as well as the CIA, and in the federal government, all the people that hate Trump and want to remove Trump, they're going to seize upon this opportunity to remove Trump for this action. And this action is, Trump is going to pay the price on January 9th. And you need to look no further than the numerology, because it's been 6 days. So that the decapitation strike of Maduro happened on January 3rd. So 6 days later would be January 9th. So we have 6, which equates to the letter F. And then we have the date of January 9th, which is 9, which is the letter I, which is I. So 9 equals I. So we have FI. And then the date of January 9th, 19 equates to letter 19th letter, which is S, so we have FIS, and that is the name of CIA headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland, is FIS, the Federal Intelligence Service. So this event targeting Trump on January 9th is being orchestrated by the Federal Intelligence Service of Switzerland in Geneva, Switzerland, via their Israeli Mossad, via their intelligence operatives on the ground in Washington, D.C., and so they're going to remove Trump in some form or fashion on the date of January 9th on the FIS Swiss numerology because of this raid targeting Maduro. So the question is, how are they going to do it? So I believe, given that there's 4 points on a Swiss cross, I believe that they're going to employ a four option, or let's say a 4-pronged removal of Trump on January 9th, because 4-9, this is found in the date of the amount of days that Trump has been in office is 349. And so the official name of Switzerland is Confederation Helvetica, so this is 349. This is Switzerland. They have 4 plays on the 9th. So this, you have to understand this numerology, but that's a different story for a different day. But essentially, for layman's terms, Switzerland, Confederation Helvetica, is going to execute 4 plays to remove Trump on the date of the 9th, 349. If that makes any sense. Anyways, so exactly how they're going to do this, obviously not known. I'm just putting together the numerology and the information and trying to extract what's the most likely scenarios. Number 1, according to the Wall Street Journal, according to the New York Times, and all the talking heads in the media, Trump broke international law by removing a duly elected head of state. That's number one. So, if that is the case, then it's highly likely, virtually certain, that the CIA is going to stage an international criminal court, which Trump has previously sanctioned twice, which is located in Brussels, Belgium. So they're going to stage an ICC, International Criminal Court, Interpol, or United Nations police-based arrest of Trump for violating international law. They tried this before when Trump was visiting King Charles of England this summer. They tried this raid targeting Trump. In the aftermath of the Iranian strikes targeting Iran's nuclear program. So that's number one. I believe that they're going to try, and this will, of course, spark a civil war in the United States, and that's why the CIA, who runs Hollywood through their Zionist minions, have produced 2 films in the last 5 years about a civil war in the United States, because if the United Nations removes a sitting U.S. president, then just like Trump removed a president from Maduro that was duly elected, obviously Americans with millions of guns are not going to take kindly to that, and so they're going to attack United Nations related entities, possibly the United Nations headquarters in New York City, and so a civil war will commence, and that is exactly what CIA headquarters want. So they'll remove Trump from power, likely kill him in custody, take him to a black site, torture him for years possibly, and then they'll likely say that he died in the public news cycle, and then they'll keep him alive, torture him for years for going against the system, and then while he's being tortured, they'll probably make him watch TV of the civil war that's happening in the United States with all their foreign agents and operatives that will come into the United States and stage attacks across the United States. So that's number one. Number two is a lighter version of this, is basically that the DOJ, the Department of Justice, orders the FBI to arrest Trump for some sort of war crime because this is allegedly 40, depending on which numbers you read, 40 to 80 Cuban nationals were killed in this attack. So this would be seen as some sort of illegality, that Trump violated his oath of office and he committed some sort of treason against the Constitution, and therefore the DOJ would order the FBI to arrest Trump. Number three, which is likely the most likely scenario for January 9th of 2026, is that the CIA is going to stage some sort of joint Democratic and Republican impeachment of Donald J. Trump. Coincidentally, just a few days ago, Trump said that if he fails to win the midterms for the Republicans, that he'll be impeached. He was obviously coached to say this, and this is designed to foreshadow that Trump would be impeached. And coincidentally, 2 or 3 days later, the U.S. Senate, and so because AIPAC controls virtually 70 to 80% of the United States Congress, this is the American-Israeli lobby, which has been in the news a lot lately. So they have virtual control. This is how Switzerland controls the U.S. Senate, is that Switzerland runs, the first Jewish state runs the second Jewish state, obviously, and then Switzerland, which has all the Swiss banks, they funnel all the money to Israel and clean and whitewash it, so to speak, and then they funnel it back into the United States and bribe all of our politicians and basically have them on the hook. And then on top of that, you have the Jeffrey Epstein. This is being run by the Israeli Mossad, which photographs all of our congressmen and congresswomen in compromising positions, sexual positions, drug positions, business positions, and basically blackmails them all. And so that whenever they want them to vote a certain way, they just threaten to leak some of these photos or videos or text messages or whatever, and then they get their compliance. So the notion that the U.S., that even if the Congress wanted to keep Trump as president, they would be forced to, because of the blackmail ring of Jeffrey Epstein and the AIPAC money, they would be forced to vote for Trump's impeachment. And that is the most likely scenario. And then, coincidentally, I believe that the current war powers resolution that was just passed by the House and is now going to the Senate is basically the cover for this impeachment. So on the title is War Powers Resolution that Trump violated, and it's basically to limit for future Trump-ordered military actions in Venezuela, and that this is actually the cover for the impeachment of Trump on the date of January 9th. And last but not least, I believe that with the assassination of, I believe her name was Renee Good, who was just murdered in Minneapolis, Minnesota yesterday on January 7th of 2026 for allegedly ramming an ICE agent. I believe that this attack was executed in part because the guy that shot her had allegedly been run over before. And so I believe this whole thing is staged. I don't believe it was authentic. I don't believe it's real. I don't even believe that this woman is dead, and I don't even believe that she may or may not even have existed. We don't even know, because with the ability the CIA has to create AI, they can create people out of nowhere. They just create a bunch of pictures with social media. They create a fake social media accounts. They create fake documents. So we don't even know if this person exists in reality. But nevertheless, they staged the ICE-based shooting assassination of a 37-year-old woman. And we know that 3 sevens is 777, which is found in the tetragram of Yahweh, which is the highest Jewish God. And so we know that the blowback from this ICE assassination is going to result in the death of Trump. And so this is the assassination that they're going to blame, that one of these ICE protesters took matters into their own hand and assassinated Trump. We've seen this before. We've seen this with the mass shooting attack, the sniper attack that they staged on ICE members in Texas. I believe it was Grand Prairie, Texas, a few months ago. That the CIA has staged all sorts of ICE-related violence, and that is because ICE. This, like I made in another video today, the CIA is desperately trying to stage an ICE revolution. So what you have to understand about ICE is, although it's spelled ICE, which is 935 numerically, IS is the official name, or ISIS is the official name of CIA headquarters, the esoteric name, I should say, of CIA headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland. So ICE is IS. And so that is symbolically a reference to CIA headquarters. And so when if this assassin is blamed on an ICE, anti-ICE, this is like, it's hard to explain, but basically the numerology and the symbology and everything like that suggests that the CIA is going to stage some sort of blowback assassination event targeting Trump. And they just found a sniper's nest outside of the Palm Beach airport, and so some sort of assassination event under the guise of blowback from ICE. It could be her family members, it could be her lover, it could be because she's a lesbian and whatever, it could be some trans shooter, it could be a Mexican, or it could be a formerly detained person. But the CIA is gearing up to basically do some sort of ICE-related assassination event. Coincidentally, the date of the 9th is I, and then, of course, the 19th, 1-9, January 9 and 19th, that's IS. And that's what I was talking about earlier, is that it symbolically, numerologically suggests that the CIA will stage some sort of an ICE-related assassination event targeting Trump on the date of January 9th. So just to recap, CIA is going to stage a Trump dissolution of presidency event on the date of January 9th, most likely being some sort of UN or ICC or Interpol related arrest, DOJ, FBI related arrest, impeachment, or assassination. If that all else fails, The CIA back on July 17th stated that, or diagnosed Trump with venous insufficiency, and which has subsequently resulted in swollen hands and swollen ankles. And so Trump may suffer a fall and hit his head and suffer some sort of catastrophic brain damage or a cracked skull and result in a coma or some sort of paralyzation. There's been a number of stories in the media lately about people falling and suffering brain damage, so that may be also in the works. But nonetheless, some sort of major event targeting a sitting U.S. president by Geneva, Switzerland, is going to transpire on the date of January 9th. If that happens, I would kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.